Hi, my name is Shayla with Revolting Science Resources, a company designed to bring the principles of project management to academic scientists. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a tiny task. So if you're new to the tiny task series, essentially, I normally will just do some sort of short or small task that I have likely been putting off. The goal of essentially reducing my anxiety or stress, or just creating a better or more streamlined system. So in today's video, the tiny task that I'm going to tackle is actually automatically sorting new mail that I get into specific labels within my email inbox. So I'm going to be doing this for some of the emails that I receive as part of my business. But I was actually reflecting on some of the things that this would have been really useful for when I was getting my PhD in neuroscience. And so when I was in grad school, the way that our grad program worked, I actually had a mentor that was in the biology department, and then I actually was part of the neuroscience department. And so I was on multiple different departmental listservs. And although some of the information that came through those was really important and prevalent, and I really needed to see that in my inbox, most of the time, a lot of the information that came through those listservs was also just PSAs or general flyers or announcements about events that were going on. I think it actually would have been really useful to create different folders for some of the different departments that I was a part of, and then have those emails automatically routed into those folders. At least for me, I know I would have still checked in those folders and actually gone through and seen what all of the different emails were about. But I think it would have helped me clear out my inbox a little more and have that be a bit more organized, especially once I started implementing the inbox zero method. So, whether or not you might want to use this for separating out different emails that you might get from different departments, or if you just think that there's some specific emails that you'd like to see sorted into particular folders automatically, why don't you take some time and do this task with me? Another thing I'll mention really quickly is that I actually have another tiny task video that's all about unsubscribing from all of the emails that you don't want to receive anymore, and then also organizing your inbox and setting up an inbox zero method. If unsubscribing from old emails or organizing your inbox and setting up an inbox zero method sounds like something you'd like to do, I'd actually recommend watching that video and doing that tiny task before you watch this one. But otherwise, for anyone who wants to do this tiny task with me, let's get started. So here you can see my email inbox. I've already gone through and cleared out some of the things that I didn't need from this inbox. So a lot of the things that are here are actual things I need to take some sort of action on. So if you want new items that enter your inbox to automatically be sorted into different folders, the very first step is actually creating different labels, which kind of serve as like the different folders that these pieces of information are going to live within. You can see here that I've actually set up a bunch of different labels. If you haven't set up any, there's a chance that the button to create a new label is found under this more toggle. But otherwise, you can also just press this button to create a new label. So a couple of action items for what I'm hoping to accomplish today. First, I want all of the emails that I receive that are form submissions from my website to be moved within this Squarespace form submissions label. The second thing that I want to have accomplished is that any new orders I receive from my website automatically get moved into this RSR Squarespace orders label. So again, the very first step is just actually creating those labels. Like I mentioned again, I actually had already created them. As a quick reminder, you can check out the other video that I've made as well that actually talks a little too about creating labels and also showcases some of the functionality with nesting labels under different labels. Once you have your labels created, then the next thing you'll do is actually go to your settings, go to see all settings, and then go to filters and blocked addresses. So you can see here, I actually already have some filters applied to this inbox, but they're still not the ones that I want. So to create a new filter, you just click this create a new filter button, and then you can basically pick what you want Gmail to use as the sorting criteria for this filtering. So if I go back to my inbox, in particular for the form submissions, they actually all come from this address. So I'm actually going to just copy that, go back to my settings, create a new filter. And whenever I get an email from this address, I want to create a filter that applies the label Squarespace form submissions. This is also a quick note that there are a lot of options of some of the different filters that you can use for emails that enter your inbox. So be sure to check these out and see if any of them might apply to what you're hoping to accomplish in your email inbox. Similarly, whenever I get a new order, I also want to create a similar filter where it gives the RSR Squarespace orders label. One thing to note though is that this no reply at squarespace.com email address, actually, I get multiple different things from this email address. So having it automatically sort by the sender is not going to be as useful in this scenario. But What is useful is that every new order starts with this exact same subject line. So I'll just copy that. And then again, we'll just go to all of our settings, filtered and block addresses, create a new filter, and then paste the subject line. Then I'll click create filter and I will apply the label so that it moves automatically into the RSR Squarespace orders label. And then that is it. So I'll create that filter and then I can see a list of all of these here. If I ever want to edit those later, I can also do that as well. One thing to note is that after creating that filter, that's going to apply for all of the emails you receive moving forward. So any emails that you currently have in your inbox that fit those criteria, they're not going to automatically sort. So at least for me, I'm just going to manually drag these over into the proper labels. But now I'm done. And so now in the future, whenever I have new emails coming in, they should automatically end up underneath those labels. So that's it for this video where I just completed that tiny task of automatically sorting some of the emails that show up in my inbox. I hope that you were able to use this time as well to set up some automatic labeling of new emails as they come into your inbox. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to be notified of any new tiny tasks that I decide to tackle, be sure to subscribe to receive notifications whenever I post new videos. Lastly, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Is there a tiny task that you've been putting off that you'd love some accountability and support around? Feel free to share in the comments, and maybe I'll tackle that one in my next video. But that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.